So I'm here with Kyle Ford, who is the Senior Product Manager with Mighty Networks.
Hello. Yeah.
How you doing?
Good. Great to see you. Yeah.
Global Waterworks has been on Mighty Networks for a number of years. We love the platform. It continues to improve literally quarterly with new features and certainly benefits to the communities. So we're going to have, so Kyle and I are going to have a conversation because this really is the backbone of Global Waterworks. So with that, Kyle, why don't you give me a little bit of your background?
Sure.
A little bit of background on the Mighty Networks.
Sure, absolutely. So yeah, briefly, my background, I came from initially as a web designer kind of back in the day and moved more into the product world in terms of defining what we're building digitally. In more recent years, it's been more apps. In the earlier years, it was more websites. Now it's a bit of both. But I worked in the entertainment industry for a while at Fox and Yahoo Movies back in the day, and then moved actually to sort of the predecessor of Mighty, which was started by our CEO. It was called Ning. It was also a kind of create your own community building platform. A bit too early, kind of before the mobile revolution and before people were really ready for it. But we learned a lot of amazing lessons there, and a lot of it has been funneled into this new platform. So after a lot of different startups and jobs, reunited with Gina, who's our CEO, about a year and a half ago, and started at Mighty. And so we've been going ever since.
So you've actually been at this for quite a while.
Quite a while. So I started in this world of kind of custom communities in about 2005. So it's been a while now.
So Mighty Networks, how long has it been around, and what's what's the little bit of background there?
Yeah. So Mighty Networks, as it is now, started in 2017. However, it had a earlier incarnation as a product called Mighty Bell, which was a separate product, but also community based. And then it kind of reinvented itself as Mighty Networks. So I guess we're coming up on about 6 years of Mighty Networks. So yeah.
And it's, you exude it. Gina exudes that energy.
Sure. I can't compete with her energy level. That's a whole different level. Yeah.
But the passion, you can
Yes.
hear the passion. And for what the benefits that have been reaped by so many thousands of people because of the work that's being done by Mighty Networks.
Sure.
So what would you say is the greatest strength of communities and then of Mighty Networks, because they're certainly both within the
Sure. Yeah. I mean, it's an interesting, I think it's interesting. I've always been a passionate advocate for online communities. And I think it's become, in the world of COVID, even more important. You certainly can use online communities to gather offline, but in recent years, whether it's through video calling, whether it's through other technologies, the importance of having almost entirely virtual online communities has become a lot more mainstream than it ever was. And I'm always a big fan of kind of controlling your own domain, your own destiny. Over the years, you've seen people migrate from one giant social network to the next one, whatever the flavor of the decade is, it moves on. So I'm always a big advocate of control it at your own domain, your own data, your own membership, and then you're safe. You don't have to kind of blow with the winds of change. So I think Mighty is positioned uniquely to be able to power that. So you don't need to be a software developer or anything else. You can start a community, but you can control your own community, your own brand, et cetera, which I think is important.
And certainly important to Global Waterworks, because Global Waterworks, our foundation is in our technology database, which is in the community, but our strength and our power is in the communication. And with groups and with journeys, we have created communication hubs around topics, issues, having to do with water, and just bringing people together from all over the world. Literally, we're in 100 countries now and so forth. I mean, today I was on the phone with a representative from Michigan because of an issue that's come up in Michigan with harmful algal blooms in the lakes. On that call also was a woman, Sally Wetzel, who she happened to buy a house in 2016 on a lake that she didn't know was heavily damaged.
Oh, no.
But through the group that she's formed, I mean, the communications are happening and bringing people together. It really works. I mean, it just works. Great. And it works great for solving problems and, just starting things, casting, so to speak.
Yes, absolutely.
Give us some examples from your perspective
Sure.
of the impact that users have experienced or communities have experienced, financially and
Sure.
in all ways through the Mighty Networks.
Yeah, would it be, can I share my screen real quick? I could just,
Sure, go ahead. Yeah, please.
it'd probably be
Please
helpful to
do.
show you just a couple examples. This is just the Mighty Networks homepage. So if you're not
Yep.
familiar with it, just a few examples. So obviously we've seen people across all different types of network, different verticals, use cases, et cetera. So we see people, whether they're struggling with, addiction or support group for something they're coming together for. We see people that are interested in fitness. We see people interested in career betterment. So all sorts of interesting stories, but just a few. I was going to show you some examples of interesting networks, because we see everything across the board. This is a very popular network of ours called Yoga with Adrian. That is an online. She's basically done online yoga instruction, so people can sign up. They can meet her, but also very personable. Can follow their classes all online. So this is one sort of more in the fitness area. We have a guy named Ryder Carroll who does bullet journaling, which is the style of being able to organize your life specifically on paper versus digitally. So they call it Bujo U for Bullet Journal University, a whole network for people designed to share their work, collaborate, learn about this technique. So we see this as kind of a great use for a virtual campus of sorts. This one is the Academy to Innovate HR. So this is HR professionals and people interested in kind of furthering their learnings there. So we do see a lot of, career growth opportunities there. This one I think is more fun. This is the guy we're very close with named Martinez, the Slow AF Run Club. So this is people that are slow runners, and specifically,
I have seen that community on Mighty Network.
Yes. So it's great. So if you're just starting out, he's a super passionate guy, very encouraging, exciting network about getting started if you don't know where to start with running. So it's kind of interesting. We've seen, all sorts of different use cases, results. Some people are offering free networks just to be able to spread the word and evangelize. Some are, will charge for whether they're an instructor, they're charging for courses. But we give the flexibility to let you do whatever you'd like. So it's been great to see.
Yeah, and we really, certainly you see a lot of what you showed there is education and getting people knowledgeable or teaching people. And we do that on Global Waterworks, plus a whole range of other things because of the flexibility in the Mighty Network.
Sure.
And the beauty of it is, my co-executive director, Mary, and I, neither one of us are coders. And so,
yeah, right, exactly. Yep.
And we love it. And our people get in and contribute. That's because our community of 2,600, it's really their contributions that make the community go. And that is what's making us grow and go.
That's great to hear. Yeah.
With this history and, certainly talk a little bit about, from a product perspective and so forth, where do you see Mighty Networks going over the next couple of years?
Yeah, it's interesting. I mean, we're always trying to, balance between making people comfortable if they're coming from other, like I mentioned before, there's whether it's services like Facebook or larger platforms, people are comfortable with certain feature sets. We want to be able to offer those so we can match them so people can, if they want to move over and say, I want to control it, like I mentioned myself, offering that, but then also keeping an eye on more cutting edge technologies and introducing those in a way that is hopefully not scary or isn't going to alienate people on either side. So a couple examples of that. I mean, obviously live streaming has been something that's been around for a while, but with COVID, people that had never live streamed before were by the circumstances forced to. And so it has jump-started, rocketed ahead in terms of our usage and popularity and demand. So that's a feature we introduced, about a year and a half ago. And then just actually yesterday, released the ability on MyDeeps to do multi-person Zoom style live streams. So that's something that's people are sort of expecting now as the world moves towards that. But even things like the world of Web3 and token gating and NFTs and things like that are a little bit more forward-looking for a lot of people. But we are putting our toe in the water and offering some of those integrations and features so that we're ready for when people are comfortable with that. There's a whole generation, my own sons included, that are addicted to Discord, which is like a chat app that obviously started in more of the gaming industry, but is now kind of a general chat experience for people. And so we, with our release a couple months ago called Spaces, we offer the ability now to create multiple spaces that can just be chat oriented. So if people are more comfortable living in the world of fast moving chats, they can set up a community that does that. But if you're more comfortable coming from another environment, you can do that. So I think our goal generally is be as simple and flexible as possible, but offer tools for people that come in from all, walks of life or familiarity levels, depending on what's happening. But we're always, keeping our eye on what's happening. We're keeping a strong eye right now on AI and Chat GPT and what's going on with that kind of development, or whether there's a way for us to integrate in the future with, potentially some content, whether hopefully not having robots write all your content, but there could be a world where you could use that as a tool for
Sure.
like, let me, start a paragraph and get some suggestions by tapping directly into those kind of technologies. So,
Well, Kyle, this has been, thank you for taking the time. It's been
of course,
great.
yeah.
And we've only spoken a few times, but every time I get a huge kernel of new information from you that I will
Great.
tell you that group streaming, we're going to go off and start using that right
Yeah,
away.
it's brand new, so go for it. Yeah.
We will absolutely do that. So thanks again. Have a great weekend and look forward to talking to you in the future.
Awesome. Thank you. Have a good
Take
one.
care.
Yep. Bye.